Another plow guy. That's a nice truck, an old truck. Look at the smoke from that fire. That's a white man fire. Well, that car ain't getting out of his driveway. That little hot rod there. Must have just lit it. Oh, here comes the Salter truck. Must be the municipal truck. Oh, another plow guy. There'd be plow guys all over the place here. Oh, that's a big plow truck. Don't want to smack into him. Oh, something happened to his window. Oh, the truck's for sale. That'd be a horrible color to have. A white vehicle? Well, I already have a white vehicle. Brutus was white. But he was all full of rust, so it didn't matter. But like a newer white vehicle that should be clean, would never stay clean around these parts. Like a brown vehicle? My dad had a yellow van years ago, a GMC Rally. I don't know if you remember those old GMC Rallies. They were great vans. Really sought after now because of the A-Team, right? Anyway, he had a GMC Rally. My uncle had the Ford Econoline, right? It was kind of a cool van, right? And you gotta understand, like 70s and 80s vans were cool. You know, they weren't minivans. They were like full-size vans, right? They were like, you know, basically shagging wagons, right? Like no guy would let his daughter date a guy with a van. You know? But anyway, long story short, it's like Dad had this. It was bright yellow with a black stripe on it. It was quite common, on these vans. And this thing hid rust. Like from 10 feet back, it always looked new. You couldn't see, for some reason, you couldn't see dirt on it. You couldn't see rust on it. It was the best color ever. I don't know. And yet, it was the safest color to drive because people would see you coming up from behind. You know what I mean? Like, yellow is statistically the safest color for insurance. If you have a yellow vehicle, it will have lower insurance because it's the vehicle less likely to get into an accident. I had an insurance guy tell me that. Gray is highest because it's just almost like gray is the default color for every manufacturer, right? Red, you'll get charged more because red cars tend to get into more accidents. But a lot of sports cars are red, right? So, but I kid you not, man. Like, that's the level the insurance companies, like, if they could, there, see that guy, he's set up. He's got the Salter and the Sander. So, like, you get, different colored vehicles. Like, lime green should be like, your insurance should almost be free. But yeah, like, they actually rate your vehicle by the vehicles by how likely a gray vehicle or a red vehicle or a blue vehicle or whatever is likely to get into an accident. Again, they have statistics on it. Like, it's crazy. It's like, oh, well, we could charge them more here. I mean, every year they add something on that, oh, well, the size of your gas pedal. Like, whatever it is. And it's stuff they don't have to charge for, right? But, if they can gouge you, freaking insurance companies. Insurance companies are as gougy as this road. Holy. I'm doing 30 and I'm going to bounce off the damn thing. At least it's plowed anyway. If it wasn't plowed, I can't come back here if it's not plowed because the car will get stuck. I got my ramps, but could you imagine having to do ramps the whole way out? Holy jeez, take you 3 days. I mean, you wouldn't have a choice. Oh, someone's going up on the roof. Going up on the roof. Oh, better. Oops. Technically, it's a stop. Almost missed it. It's like, there's a cop around here somewhere. There always is. They come out of nowhere. I don't know if they're hiding that bush there or what. If you were to miss that, you'd get you. Is it raining again? As long as it's just like the light drizzle, it doesn't matter. So makes shoveling good and miserable. Whoa, 40's too fast. I can't even do 40, guys. I was like, wow, this road is just so freaking treacherous. Like anybody that lives back here must be replacing tie rods left, right. It's like a brand new vehicle, like 3 years later, you got to replace the tie rods and the suspension. You know, like something like this thing, you hit 50, you bottom out. like the suspension's pretty toasted in this thing, eh? So it's probably the original struts, you know. And it is a bit of a rusty vehicle, and I don't want the strut to go through the freaking oh jeez. Ah, Paul and Jade. Even with that truck, I'm amazed he can get in and out of his road. He lives down beside him, and it's my buddy's daughter-in-law and son-in-law, and they live down the road there, and it's nasty. And like how he gets in and out of there, especially in the springtime, like there's a puddle like from here to the end of that driveway, and it's like about a foot deep the whole way. And it's just like it's a mud run every time, eh? And I'm just like, how do they do it? He must be a good driver. Real nice guy. Super nice guy. We were talking, first time we were talking, and we're like, we mentioned each other's last names. We're like, oh, really? I said, okay. And anyway, so we started going through our family histories. I never met the guy before at this point, right? And it turns out, yeah, we're related. Never met the guy before. It's like, oh yeah, Paul, my buddy Paul was sitting there. So he's named Paul, and my buddy's named Paul. I'm going to his mom's right now to do the shoveling. And anyway, it's like Paul's standing there, and I told him, like I tell him all the time, I'm like related to like almost everybody around here for like a 60 kilometer radius. Everybody's pretty much related to me. And he's sitting there, and we're talking, and all of a sudden we come to the conclusion that we're probably related. Like I'm talking like 6th, 7th cousin or something like that, but we're related closer than what we thought, right? And my buddy Paul's just like, holy jeez, you're not kidding when you say you're related to everybody. I said, I know. So that's why I'm single. Every girl. Oh, hi, how are you? What's your last name? Oh, never mind. You're like my 3rd or 4th cousin. Yeah. It's like, ah. Damn it. Every time. Every freaking time, I tell you. Oh, jeez. Gotta laugh. Just laugh at the madness of it all. Let's see if we can make up these icy hills. I remember there was only one time with Unico I had a hard time getting up these hills. It was glare ice right at the top there. I spun just a bit, like I was spinning about 3/4 of the way up, because you can't go too fast because you have to ride the center, and you don't want to get sucked into that, right? But you have to be right over at the top here, or else if somebody's coming at the center, like you're going to hit driver to driver, you know what I mean? So, you know, but I spun like right here, and I just made it over the top. I was like, oh my god, it was horrible. I've seen people at like there and there. They bounce off the road. They literally bounce off the road because they come over that hill too fast, because they nail it on the other side of the hill, which it's not that much of a hill, but you do have to hit it at about 50 going up, or else you run out of speed right at the top. You know, and if it's fresh snow, you got to go 60, but then you got to you got to let it kind of coast over the top at a slower speed, right, without spinning, right? So it's one of those hills. Fine when it's dry, real pain in the ass when it's not, right? And yeah, and then but they'll hit that at like 70 or 80 to make the hill, and when they get there, they get over the top, and the hill kind of does a bit of that, and they end up either right in the ditch right there, or they slide off at another spot. My cousin ain't going anywhere. Mind you, well, he'd probably get out of there with his truck there. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. Anyway, I'll have to give him the meat stick to Bella, and then do some shoveling. What was that? Do I want to know? All right, there we go.